Hey guys, this one's for all the fat girls out there. So I'm fat, I'm overweight, and there's this girl online. She looks like she's probably like a middle schooler or something. She's like online trying to call me fat, and I'm just like, that's not even an insult. First of all, I know I'm fat. It's not really, I mean, that's like saying the sky is blue. I already know that. Like, I already know the sky is blue. That's like saying I'm brown. Okay, that's not an insult. Saying I'm brown is not an insult. Saying I have curly hair is not an insult. Saying I'm fat is not an insult. Being fat comes with overeating. Okay, I mean, I like to overeat. I do. I like to overeat. I think it makes me happy. It makes me happy being fat. And I feel like some people just don't understand that. I think some people just, they're so hateful in their own little worlds where they think that being skinny is the only way you can be happy. Well, sweetie, I'm happy fat. I'm happy fat. I'm very happy. In fact, I have higher self-esteem now than I did when I was skinny. And I think that comes with accepting yourself and loving yourself no matter what. Because even when I was 136 pounds, I thought I was too fat. And now I'm 185 pounds. Do I still think I'm fat? Of course I do, but I love myself. And when you realize that you just gotta accept yourself and love yourself for what it is, life becomes a whole lot easier. If someone calls you fat, just accept it. Accept that you're fat. I feel like a lot of people try to baby themselves when it comes to being fat. And you gotta understand that yes, you are fat. If you're overweight, you're fat. And it's not an insult. It really isn't. Don't ever let that become an insult. Being fat is not an insult, it's just the truth. I got fat on my body, I'm overweight. That's what fat is. It's essentially just being overweight, eating too much. And yes, I do eat too much, and I know I do. I eat so much. And I'm very happy. Like, I love overeating. Okay, I do. I love overeating. I used to overeat even when I was 136 pounds. I just would work out. So now these days, I don't really work out a lot. I work out a few times a month. I like to run for an hour. But like honestly, sometimes I get these really bad headaches. I think it's just because I don't drink enough water and I'm so heavy, and it's a lot of work lugging my body around at 5'2", 185 pounds for an hour of running on and off. It's not a whole hour running. I run like 6 miles an hour, and then I go down to 5.5, and then I go down to 3.6 to walk for a while till I, catch my breath. You don't want to hurt yourself. Because even doing that for an hour, I still get these awful headaches that last hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And that just means that I'm pushing my body too far. But anyway, enough about that. Being fat does not make you ugly. Being fat does not make you unattractive. I am an attractive woman, okay? That's just the truth. I'm an attractive woman, and I'm fat. And that's okay. It's okay to be fat. It's okay to be attractive and fat. It's not an insult. And if somebody tries to throw fat at you like it's some awful thing, it's not. I like fat. I like fat on other people. I like fat on myself. I don't have a problem with fat. I don't. And I never will. And this this girl, she literally just replied, she's calling me a blob and a cow right now. And I saw the notification. Does that bother me? I think it's funny because this person just has issues. Like, I don't have an issue with that, and she's upset about it. And, it's fine. It's fine. Go ahead and call me a blob. But like, I told her I'm the most beautiful blob I've ever seen. And then she called me Jabba the Hutt. And then I said, well, I'm such a beautiful girl. Damn, I didn't know Jabba the Hutt was this fine. They should call me Jabba the Slut. That's what I said. And you know what? It's the truth. But that's what I said. No, because being fat is not an insult. It's just the truth. If you're fat, if you eat too much, you're fat. That's fine. Whatever. I don't care. I don't hate fat. I don't hate fat people. I don't hate my fat. Whatever. I like fat. I watch, fat people porn. I don't give a fuck. I like fat. Being fat and being happy go hand in hand for me. Okay, I've always overeaten. Even when I was smaller, I overate immense amounts of very unhealthy foods, even more than I do now, which was extremely unhealthy, but I was smaller. Just because I worked out doesn't mean that my diet is healthy. And I also want to make that clear too, just because someone works out a lot does not mean that they eat healthy all the time or even at all. You could do, a shit ton of cardio and still eat disgusting amounts of cheesecake and fries and burgers. All that stuff isn't good for you. I mean, either way, it's still awful for you. And I'm just saying, like, just because you're skinny doesn't mean you're healthy either. I mean, there's a skinny girl I knew that would eat a milkshake and a small fry in a day. That's not healthy. But she was skinny. Being skinny doesn't equate to being healthy. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that comes with fat and all that stuff. It's a stereotype. Now, I know fat people, like sumo wrestlers, for example, they eat a lot of rice and fish. Rice and fish is not going to give you cardiac arrest, from my knowledge. I mean, it's not greasy. It's just rice and fish and vegetables. They eat a lot of that. Rice is a very carb-heavy grain, and I mean, that's not really necessarily an unhealthy diet. I mean, it's honestly a pretty healthy diet. They just overeat. And, you can look it up. I looked up a documentary on sumo wrestlers, and they do exercise. I mean, they do sumo wrestling, but it's like, I mean, either way, they're still, obese. They got big bellies, and they eat this pretty much healthy food. I mean, I'm not seeing them overeat, KFC. It's rice and fucking fish. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, I just want to let you know that if anyone calls you fat, that's their problem. It's not your problem, and you're not going to make it your problem. You got to love your fat. Okay, you got to love your fat and be your most beautiful self now. Don't worry about it later. Worry about it now. If you want to stay fat, then be fat and happy. That's my advice. Be fat and happy, because that's what I've done, and I feel great. I feel gorgeous. Okay, I feel gorgeous, fat, and happy. And that's okay. You want to feel fat and happy. If you're going to be fat and happy. That's my advice. So don't let anyone try to get at you, because they're just mean people. They're awful spirited people who want to bring you down because they feel shitty. And that's okay. Everybody feels shitty here and there. Just let them do that. Let them do that, and then just stick up for yourself. Always 100% love yourself. Stick up for yourself. That's what I do when somebody hates on me. Either I get mean, or I give myself a shit ton of compliments, because that's how I feel. And my point there, when I do that, is that you are not changing how I feel about myself. My thoughts about myself stay the same, no matter what you say. And that's why I'm over here giving myself 10,000 compliments while you're insulting me, is because that's how I still feel about myself. So you're not changing anything. Like, literally, that's what I do. On my Instagram, if you go on my Instagram, sometimes someone will call me fat, and I'll go, God damn, I'm the most gorgeous fat blob I've ever seen. And that's okay. You gotta stick up for yourself, okay? Love yourself, and let people know that, your thoughts about yourself aren't going to change because of what somebody else says. Just because they say something doesn't mean that it's true, okay? I could say that the sky is red. Does that make it true? No. Also, I could say that, she's ugly, just because she made me mad. Does that make it true? No. I mean, I could call her ugly and still think she's pretty, but at the end of the day, I'm just mad because you're a fucking cunt. So it's about the same thing, if somebody's mad at you, because she was mad at me for buying sheets, so I think that's why she's trying to belittle me. But at the end of the day, that's super immature. You're not going to make me listen to you by belittling me. That's not how it works. If anything, it's just going to make me want to buy it some more. I'm just being honest. I'm just going to keep purchasing it to spite you. And that's really it. Like, I don't care about you or your opinion or your words. It might not even be your true opinion. It might just be words that you come out of your mouth because you're a hateful person. And, yeah, okay, whatever. Like I said, I could say someone's ugly and still think they're pretty, but they just piss me off. Because, I would do it. I would call someone ugly if they called me ugly. And, even if they're not ugly, I would still be lying. But at the end of the day, fuck you. And that's really it. Just because someone calls you ugly or fat doesn't even make it true. They could just be hateful because they hate you. And it's a very hateful energy. So just know that you're a bad bitch. and you just bring out the hate in people because they're so angry at you because you love yourself so much. So just be fat and happy, and that's my advice. So y'all have a fat, happy day. I'm about to eat some pierogies. I just took a walk. I'm tired. I'm happy. And be happy and fat, okay? Bye, guys.